Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. EtherWaifu is in the house, and I'm sitting here talking with a 3D panda. This is something that I've never done before. I'm sitting here with the founder of EtherWaifu, Agro, and he's joining me over from across the country. So thank you for getting up a little bit early so that we could have this podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me here, Jay.
Really, really appreciate it. So EtherWaifu, it's a combination of multiple things. Obviously, waifu and the stencilation of the Japanese models or Asian models has been around for quite a long time. But you decided to put this on the blockchain in early 2018, predating ERC 721, and then it was just magically rediscovered, and there was only, I believe, 50 or 100 that were minted at the time. And we'll go through all of that rediscovery, but first, to the extent of what you can tell us while retaining your anonymity, tell us a little bit about how you got involved into crypto, and was your interest in drawing in waifu before crypto or afterwards?
Okay, so actually I started crypto with Bitcoin, as many people do, because, well, funny thing is, I worked at a company in Japan, and the CEO of the company, like he really likes technology, and he actually owned Bitcoin since quite a few years before 2017. And he once said to like the employees of the company, like, if you work in technology, you should own cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, not to get rich, but because it's such an interesting technology, and just by owning it, you will want to learn about the technology. Okay, so me myself, I am a programmer, so of course, like through news, like I've heard a lot about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency since, well, I think since a long time ago, but never really tried to like hold it. But because of my previous company's owners, like a recommendation, like to study it, well, I tried buying it, and yeah, started to learn about blockchain technologies, and it got me into Ethereum, which at that time, like the Ethereum community says that it has smart contract capabilities, which makes it programmable, and well, you can make anything out of it. So as a programmer, I became interested in, well, understanding what the hell does a smart contract mean, right? And well, there's actually like lots of like material about how to make smart contracts, and for a programmer, like those are pretty well, easy to understand. And once you start like learning how to write smart contract, like the, for me, it was kind of like a light bulb moment about how revolutionary the technology is, which is that usually, like when you deploy a program on some server, like you need to maintain the server, like and like pay monthly cost for the server. But in Ethereum, if you deploy a smart contract, which is basically a program on the blockchain, like it will live forever, right? And that's the light bulb moment for me. Wow, you can deploy a program which lives forever, and like nobody could censor the program. That's very like revolutionary, and it made me like read a lot of like white paper about many tokens in Ethereum, and it was such a crazy time. Like there were many projects such as Airbnb for Ethereum, built on Ethereum, and well, as you know, like many of those projects like didn't survive. But one project which really like caught my imagination at that time was CryptoKitties. which is like art about kittens, about cats on the blockchain, which at that time broke Ethereum because many people tried to play it and it caused the gas cost to skyrocket. So yeah, it really caught my imagination. Like you can collect kittens on the blockchain, and then like you can like combine two crypto kitties to create a new crypto kitty. So I wanted to make something like that. But one thing that I realized was that collectibles on the blockchain at that time have a very simple art. Like most of them had very simple art, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just like a snapshot of the art at that time on the Ethereum blockchain. Like for example, in CryptoKitties, like all of the cats all are like basically facing frontward, right? So I want to see like how far can we take those kinds of art in blockchain. So I contacted my illustrator friend Yubi. Me and Yubi are both from Indonesia, although I lived in Japan. And Yubi is really a very talented illustrator. And like the interesting thing about his art is that he kind of makes like many variation of the same pose, which is like which you would usually call like a generative art right now. So when I contacted him about the idea of making generative art on the Ethereum blockchain, he's really like interested in like combining technology with art. So yeah, we started the development in 2017 actually, and was able to release it in 2018.
Yeah, so I'm going through his Instagram profile right now, and you could tell it's similar, different poses. It looks like he's using maybe three or four of the similar structured faces.
Yeah, exactly.
And here's some animations, but this Instagram account's got a ton of likes, ton of followers. I think it has like 15,000, 17,000 followers.
He's actually like he's always been an artist since long before EtherWaifu actually. And like the interesting thing is his parents opposed him of being an artist because like his background is actually also software engineering. So like and like he realized that like his passion is more of like creating art rather than programming. So perhaps we can imagine like his parents like frustration when when he decides that I don't want to write software, but I want to like draw art. But he continued drawing despite like his parents not like agreeing to the life path. As we know, like it was hard for artists to get commission. And that's why that's perhaps one of the reasons that Juby decided to like take the challenge of combining his art with some kind of like weird technology at that time.
So, and then I pulled up the waifu viewer, and you mentioned that this is generative. I believe the waifu, it's about 1,025 items that are generative, and you can see here on OpenSea there's only 697 because they are ERC20, so they have to be wrapped, which is a common thing that happens within the historical space. But also, what makes a lot of these so valuable is the custom contract that it's required to create this, right? There's no standard way to go about this. So as you mentioned, you and Juby began working on this in 2017, and then it was launched in, I believe, like March. Believe it was March. Yeah, March of 2018.
March 2018. Yeah.
You did the dev work. You did the illustration. How many times did both of you have to go back and forth to ensure that it was the right illustration, the contract was right? Was there any previous contracts that maybe you deployed and there were some issues with it? Sometimes you see this with like EtherRocks or CryptoPunks V1 and V2. From that, just tell us a little bit about from that 2017 point to launch. What was that? What was that time like?
Yeah, it was really like time because there was actually an ERC 721 standard, but it was still kind of like in a draft condition at that time. So like there were like a few websites writing about ERC 721. Which all claim that this is like the correct standard. But all those pages like have like slight differences at that time. So it was not clear which one was the standard. And actually like when we developed EtherWaifu, our strategy was, okay, so the standard was still in development. So we tried to implement all the methods which are claimed to be standard by all those different pages, right? But in the end, like the final ERC 721 standard was a little bit different from both of them. So in the end, like our smart contract is not 100% compatible with OpenSea's with the standard that OpenSea adopts, which is why, it required a wrapper, and which is why not all of the EtherWaifu are on OpenSea right now. And regarding like the iterative process of development, we deployed a few times to the Ethereum testnet, which is a Rinkeby testnet. And there we had several like bugs of the renderer, such as like, for example, like hair not appearing, but those are eventually fixed before like we deployed to mainnet. I think it would be interesting like to dig all those like old files on my computer in which like the renderer was buggy. It might be interesting from a historical perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is. And even when you go through the website, I did open up the original marketplace.
Right. We have our own marketplace because at that time there was no OpenSea, right? So, we had to develop our own marketplace, and some people sell it on the marketplace.
Yeah, it looks like there's about 20 that are listed here on the marketplace, ranging from 200 ETH down to 1.1. And then, so you say here there's about 20. So you have about 700 that are purchasable. And then the other 300 or 400 or so are just tucked away in someone's contract and exists as a ERC20 token. And some could potentially be lost as well, which is also common within these vintage assets. How long? So did you, regarding the marketplace, was this something that you and Juby had to construct after the project was deployed, or was this something that you had thought about while constructing it because you had mentioned that there was an issue with the compatibility with OpenSea and some of these other marketplaces that existed then?
Yeah, so at that time, OpenSea didn't exist. So we actually launched in 2018, ready with the marketplace. Because without our own marketplace, then there won't be a way for people to easily trade trustlessly. So yeah, it was available with the marketplace at that time.
And what was the original minting cost for this artwork? I wasn't personally I didn't personally take part in the rediscovery and the mad rush that happened, so I wasn't able to see what the original minting cost was.
Okay, so the original minting cost was there. There are a few tiers like based on rarity, but the cheapest and the most common one was 0.01 ETH, if I remember correctly.
That's super cheap, especially today's standards. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think right now the floor on OpenSea is around 0.3 or 0.4.
Yep.
Yeah, 0.3. Yeah, so it has risen like 30-fold compared to that time. And at that time, like the price of Ether was also like a lot lower than today. Yeah. So yeah, it was really cheap at that time.
Oh, okay, cool. Here, yeah, you could see down here on the mint at the bottom of the website. It looks like there's about 8 different batches that go from free all the way to 1 ETH, and the 1 ETH said 75. There were 75 at 1 ETH, so that must have been a very, very large mad rush. Were you able to retrieve the funds? Do you still have access to that wallet so that at least both of you were rewarded when this was dug up?
Yeah, like the smart contract has a function to like withdraw the sales fund, and it works. So yeah, happily it worked. But there's one interesting thing also, like when we were developing EtherWaifu, because like we had to develop all the smart contract by ourselves. So it was found in testing that in the development version, like when we deploy the smart contract, we forgot to set the owner to ourselves, which means like it was a smart contract without owner. So we weren't able to, there was a bug in which we weren't able to withdraw the funds, but thankfully we found the bug before releasing it on the mainnet and was able to fix it. Else it will be like a tragedy.
This is the same predicament that Ponderware found themselves in with Mooncats, and they unfortunately were never able to recover those funds for all of those Genesis Mooncats, and that's ultimately part of the reason why they ended up not continually develop on it later than 2018. But now they're back, so it is quite a very unique situation. I notice here on the website it says that EtherWaifu is a game. Were there other plans back then to build on top of this project and not have it just exist as, let's say, an art display or a waifu collectible series?
Yeah, so our plan was to release a crafting function, which if you have like 2 EtherWaifu, like you can combine them. We call it crafting, and then you will get 1 child waifu without destroying your 2 original waifu. So that's the like gamification of it, like to reveal traits which weren't previously available. But so what actually happened was, when we released it in 2018, the crafting function was already deployed on testnet So for testing, so it still required development, but we could try crafting on testnet. But when we released in 2018, like almost no one bought EtherWaifu, right? I think only like around 50 minted at that time. So we had like no funds to continue development, and we tried continuing development for quite some time, but after the initial purchases at release, like there really was no one minting for a few years. So we halted the development of crafting until the project was rediscovered by Adam in 2021. So yeah, we resumed the development of crafting since last year, and we are now like adding new features such as combining EtherWaifu not only with other EtherWaifu but also with other NFTs. For example, if you have an art block, like you can combine it with your EtherWaifu to set the art block as your background, for example. And we plan to release it, the crafting feature, we plan to release it mid 2022, which is this year.
Right. So I'm going to pull it up here. I believe I saw this recently in your, right here is recently in your Discord. I think there was like some sneak peeks. Yes. Here's some of the artworks, and there's some other interesting things in here. But now as we move into the newer age 2021s and kind of rebuilding on this idea of crafting, is it just you in development, or are you continuing with Jubi? Have you brought on other team members to assist you with this?
For the development, for the crafting development, it's mainly myself, but the community also help with other parts of various developments. For example, like when the project was rediscovered last year, the one who made the wrapper for OpenSea was actually another developer from the community, Fubar, for example. And for example, like another community member, Snow, like he developed a website which allows you to like check and compare the trades of EtherWaifu. So yeah, we've really had some development help from the community, but for the crafting itself, it's mainly me right now. And Jubi is of course still continuing to finish the art. So not all of the arts are actually done, because as I said, the development was halted in 2018 when we ran out of funds. So right now, Jubi is continuing to complete all of the arts.
Awesome. I came across this here that you actually posted about a week and a half ago. Right here, it says 1 chibi per 1 Genesis EtherWaifu. If you have 3, you'll get 3 chibis. What are chibis? Is this also another part of the future? Is this like something of like a companion drop, maybe something similar to like Bored Apes and Mutants?
Right. So chibi is a new development. So it was not planned in 2018, but we plan to release it at the same time as the release of crafting. So yeah, as written on the Discord post, each EtherWaifu holder will get 1 chibi for each EtherWaifu they own. And also because we only have 1,025 original, Genesis EtherWaifu. So we want to expand the community. And that's why we are going to release the new EtherWaifu Chibi series as a 10,000 profile picture NFT. So new people which had always wanted to join EtherWaifu but couldn't buy EtherWaifu right now because the floor has risen, they can join the minting of EtherWaifu Chibi to join the community.
It's quite incredible. I want to backtrack this a little bit because I always love unique stories. You mentioned that Adam Mcbride, that everyone knows, is kind of like one of the fathers of the NFT archaeology movement. What was that story? Did he reach out to you through email? I know he's gone through some very unique ways to get in touch with some of the creators of these vintage projects.
Yeah, so he actually contacted me through Twitter, actually. Yeah, he asked, hey, are you the developer of this EtherWaifu, and is the project still alive, or like can we like revive it? And then it was really surprising for me to get that contact, because there really had been like no sales, like no activity on chain for a few years, like after the initial release. And the least that I could do was the development was halted because there was no interest, but the least that I could do is like to keep the website alive. So I just like paid the cost for the server every month. So it's interesting that Adam was able to like go through the website, or like find the smart contract, and then after that go through the website and actually tried to mint something new in 2021. So what happened was like the minting was successful in 2021 because that part was on the blockchain, which lives forever. But there was a problem with the renderer. So the NFT that Adam minted, I think like the image didn't appear. So I said to Adam, okay, let's have a talk. And we actually had a video chat at that time. And then I said that, okay, I found the source code for the server, and I think like I can fix it to make that new mints, the image could work properly on new mints. So I think after Adam like confirmation from me that like I can revive the project, he told the news to like his community of people interested in historical arts. And since that time, like people were rushing to buy the all the remaining EtherWaifu, and gladly it was sold out. All 1,025 of them was sold out last year.
It's quite incredible, with only having about, I believe the Discord said it was like 48 or 50 originally minted. So you sold out 1,000 probably within the hour, raising about 100 ETH or something close to that. It's quite amazing. And then now you get to give back to the community. I did notice on there that it said that Fubar wrote the wrapper. As we know, Fubar is a very, very popular dev in the crypto community. He also wrote the wrapper for the Punks V1 contract. Were you able to like connect with him or talk with him? How was he introduced to the project?
I'm not sure like how he got to know EtherWaifu. I think perhaps like at that time, like most of the people know it from Adam. So I think he also knew it from the historical NFT community. But people were rushing to buy the EtherWaifus, but yeah, they couldn't put it on OpenSea. So like people wrote on Discord, like when OpenSea, when OpenSea, something like that, right? And because at that time, like I haven't really done like smart contract development for quite some time, and I think perhaps like Fubar was like active in smart contract development, so he was able to like confidently like deploy a wrapper in a very short amount of time. And yeah, we as the community basically said, okay, let's use Fubar's wrapper as the community sanctioned wrapper. And yeah, and thanks to him, like we were able to do trading on OpenSea right now.
Yeah, I've learned quite a lot from him, and he was pretty active in the Mooncats Discord for a while. So he hung out in historical NFTs, now gone on to do a handful of other things. But now this leads us to a point. We've come full circle. It's 4 years later. Now we're gonna have the chibi drop, and you have the crafting that's done. There is a community there. It's quite light at the moment, just maybe because it's a small collection. How would you describe the community for EtherWaifu and kind of the outlook into the future? Are there any things that you'd like to see the community help with, or is everything just right? Just kind of the oversight, because I've seen these historical NFT communities evolve and die and come back and grow, and it's a very malleable community because there's a lot of moving parts to a lot of these vintage projects.
Yeah, so we have a really great community. Well, albeit it's still quite small at the moment. So our community is like very passionate about art, and like many of them like to support other NFT artists also. And like one of the vision of this project, like taking it into the future, is we want to be a community that supports other creators. So actually, like since last year, like EtherWaifu has commissioned a few artists. At that time, mainly Japanese NFT artists, which were starting out. So we commissioned them to make their own rendition of EtherWaifu, and then we buy their NFT, and we put it on EtherWaifu's gallery on Cyber. So we actually have a virtual gallery, which you can see a curated EtherWaifu fan arts from other artists. And we want to expand the program, like make it a regular thing. Like even like next month, we already have like another NFT artist scheduled to make another commission EtherWaifu art. So yeah, we really want to expand this program so that it can include many more artists from around the world.
Some commissioned EtherWaifu derivatives. Derivatives are very, very popular. They really got out of hand and caused a lot of fluff and caused a lot of animosity. But creating those derivative works it's very important because it kind of adds to the legitimacy of a project. Or you could call it some people call it fan art. Is also a way. I guess that's kind of what it was called before. It was the fan art was heavily financialized through tokenization. It's quite fascinating to watch. There was one other thing I wanted to cover before we got out of here, and I had noticed on your website that you are a fan of photography, I believe, and I believe is this yours?
Yeah, actually, I did lots of photography, and actually that's how I met with Juby. So I had a chance to to do a photography exhibition in Japan, like I think 1 year before EtherWaifu was launched. So yeah, this is actually the photography exhibition. So my main photography work in Japan is actually like a portrait, so photographing people. And my idea at that time was to do an exhibition which combines photography and illustration. So I opened submission from around the world. Hi everyone, I'm a photographer based in Japan, and I take pictures of people and I want to do an exhibition. So why don't you draw, make an illustration of my photos, and we can do an exhibition together. And yeah, well, like a lot of people submitted their drawings, and many of them they have their own style, so it's really interesting. And Jubi was actually one of the people that submitted the drawing at that time. That's how I started collaborating with Jubi.
That's incredible. Is his on here? I'm sure it is somewhere down here. But these are breathtaking. These are quite awesome photography. So
if I had done this project like around this time, this might have been like an NFT. So you can say that like in spirit, like this is kind of like the successor of EtherWaifu, because this is how I started to collaborate with Jubi. And like in spirit, like EtherWaifu as a project also like wants to collaborate with many other artists. Like the characters in EtherWaifu are like Jubi's character, but he also encourages and allows other people to make derivative works of EtherWaifu, make fan arts. If you like cosplay, please cosplay the EtherWaifu characters. And yeah, we really welcome a collaboration.
Wow. Yeah. So you heard that here first. Send some work in if you're a waifu fan. And I know a lot of you are, because I see you people reposting and retweeting on my timeline. You horny MFers. So you could say this. So you could say that this is actually the predecessor, or maybe the early inspirations for EtherWaifu, because this is 2015. But then when you go to the Twitter account, it looks like that you continued it on for about a year and a half after EtherWaifu was deployed. So this was a long-standing project for many, many years, 2015 through 2019.
Yeah. I started photography when I studied in a Japanese university. I joined the photography club. So yeah, it's really like a long-standing, personal project of mine.
That's cool.
Interesting thing though, I don't have any one NFT of photography. Might be interesting.
Hey, you'll get there. You've been working pretty hard. So this is one of the few Japanese inspired projects on ETH. Yeah. I believe just you and Crypto Crystals are the only ones on ETH, and then when you go on to Bitcoin, there's Bit Girls and Memory Chain. So right. There's quite a large influence. It's quite amazing, and there's a very unique signature on all of them. So I think I like that it comes all full circle, and so now, as we move again, as I say this into the future, we saw the photography project was for 4 years. EtherWaifu is going to have 2 other drops. Did you work on anything outside of crypto, or is EtherWaifu just and crypto the full focus for now?
Yeah, for now, EtherWaifu is my full focus, and also Jubi's full focus right now, because we still need to deliver what we promised, like the crafting feature, and Jubi also still has to finish some of the remaining art. So this will be our focus for the foreseeable future.
Awesome. And now that it's bear market, we've got plenty of time to focus on building,
Yeah,
and not on watching the price.
Born on the bear market. when we released in 2018, that was the time when crypto market crashed. Time to build.
Yeah, absolutely. When you think about it, so EtherWaifu was deployed about 2.5 to 3 months from the top.
Yeah.
We currently sit about 6 to 7 months from the exact top. So pretty much in the same situation. But Agro, I want to thank you for coming on and sharing your time with me. I know it's a little bit early, and so whether you drink coffee or go on a run in the morning or whatever, I'll let you get back to your day. But I appreciate it, and I'm very excited to participate in the drop. I'm an owner of EtherWaifu for it has to be at least 6 months now at this point, and excited to see where this goes into the future. And if you're ever out in Vegas, you know to hit me up.
Thank you. Really honored to be on your podcast. See you soon.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys for listening and watching. We'll catch you next time.